Well, I think it's draconian simply because the foreign investors' values are basically being written down to zero. And I think that's a huge departure from simply trying to regulate an industry. Previous regulation of the tech sectors, you mentioned Ant or you mentioned Didi, the hail riding app, ride-hailing app, sorry. You could understand the sort of the rationale about regulating those industries, about personal data, about financial risk, etc. But here you're basically going in over the top. You're basically writing off entire companies and you're saying to foreigners that your investments are worth zero. That's a very, very worrying development in China.
So are foreign investors going to be reassessing any and all investments in Chinese businesses right now? Is it that serious?
Well, I certainly think it's that serious, and I think that's exactly what they should be doing. That the dynamic, the calculus has changed in China. It's not to say they're just going to turn around and write off all foreign investments, of course. They're very dependent in certain sectors on foreign capital, certainly very dependent on many foreign inflows in many ways. But I think you basically need to re-rate China as a marketplace where you're investing in stocks, think about the risks, think about what could actually happen to you, because the dynamic has changed. As I say, it's ideological, and when you're up against the party will win within China.
And so why is China so keen to kick out foreign business influence there? What's the end game here?
Well, I think particularly in the educational sector, you're looking at not sure about the hearts, but certainly the minds of Chinese youngsters. And they're very against, Xi Jinping has already come out against foreign influence, foreign ideas around democracy, about universal rights, things like that. And they're certainly wanting to ensure that they have full control and absolute domestic control of basically Chinese educational programs, certainly from the K through to 12-year grade group. And so it's very much ideological driven, but it also says that they will, they aren't even trying to grandfather in foreign investments. They're happy to railroad or ride roughshod over the existing investments. And that's what worries things.
So what happens next? Where's this going to go? What should we be watching for China's next move?
Well, I think it's not so much for it's certainly, it could almost go everywhere and anywhere. Not to say that it's coming next week or next month even, but basically all sectors in China and all investments are to some extent in place. Some are higher risk than others. Obviously, we've seen anything that's sort of heavily internet tech dependent, but you have to look in any other service where there is, healthcare is obviously another aspect there. You've already seen delivery apps being targeted as well. Basically, anything could be targeted next because the model in China has changed. It's no longer a farm era. It's an era much more driven by party control and ideology.
All right, Fraser Howie, thank you very much for that assessment. A stark warning there. Thank you.
Thank you.